Hello, gentlemen. Okay, y'all, this is the 1-year Chevy Sonic beer can review. I've had my Chevy Sonic a year now, and I'm back. Now, I'm not going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy about GM products or the Chevy Sonic. That doesn't do you any good, doesn't do me any good, and basically, it's my car. I like it. I can say what I want about it. That being said, I would go buy this car again. Listen up. I would go buy this car again. I do enjoy the car. I just don't enjoy the reasons I had to buy the car. Understand? So bring on the hate, because I'm not going to be real nice to the car, but it doesn't do you any good if I get in there and just tell you how wonderful it is, and you know, that just makes you feel better. Problem is, after you get it and you don't find out you don't fit in the seat right and you hate the car, hey, I just saved you a lot of money. So let's start out here. First things first, there's been 3 recalls on the car. First one was for the windshield wiper hose, the thing that sprays the water all over the windshield. I fixed that with a piece of duct tape. Then they fixed it with a tie wrap to hold the tubing on. Not a big deal. Second thing was something to do with the airbag, some type of felt insulator. They fixed that. And the last thing was a stabilizer shaft link replacement. Evidently that was making a clunking sound on the car. I did notice something like that, but the reason I actually went to the dealership was not to get these fixed, was because my check engine light came on. And the check engine light came on because I had my oil changed and they didn't put the oil dipstick back in all the way, and so it had a vacuum leak. Of course, the car is fully able to say, hey, oil vacuum leak or something like that, and I could have put 2 and 2 together and opened up the hood and maybe looked around and solved it myself, but no, I get an idiot light that just says check engine. So I took it over to the dealer. In 2 hours they fixed all my issues and even took care of the check engine light. But the car can do everything. It's got a computer on it. Why don't they just have, when the check engine light comes on, it tells you the diagnosis so that, hey, maybe I don't need to go to the dealership. That is what makes me mad. They want to give you a bunch of crap extra stuff on the car that I don't need, but what I do need is a little diagnostic help. Okay, probably buy an app for your damn iPhone and hook it up that way and find out about it, but I shouldn't be able to have to do that. I should be able to just go to a menu, it's got a computer right there in the dashboard, and push diagnostic. Hey, oil problem. Hey, your gas cap's loose. Something like that. Alright, let's check out the car. By the way, here's the paperwork. And like I said, they took care of the car. 3 hours, I was in, I was out, and of course I was leaving on a trip, and you know, they fixed it up great. And here's the deal. I just went to Home Depot, bought a ceiling fan. I have a box of spices there, and I bought a weed eater. It took up the whole back seat. Now this is real important. If you're buying this car and you got 2, 3 little kids, or if you got 2 car seats, or hell, even 1 car seat, don't buy the car. Because when you go to Walmart, you have to fold down both back seats when you fill up 1 shopping cart full of groceries to get home. Okay? It's a nightmare. Now I go to Walmart, I fill the shopping cart, I come out, I have to fold down both seats, throw all those bags in there to get home. So if your wife goes to the store and she's got 2 car seats there, now your kid's going in the front seat, he's going to get his head blown off by the airbag. It's just that simple. The car is too small for a family. But of course, when you're buying diapers and everything, you'd like to buy a cheap car, or relatively cheap. The car's not cheap because of inflation, and that's a whole nother story. Bottom line is, it's too small for a family of 4. My opinion. Okay, why am I laying on the ground? No, I didn't pass out from the heat. But let me show you something here. This is the front bumper. This is my hand. That's about 9 inches off the ground. Now, Chevy, GM, whoever, the engineers designed this with about a 3-inch piece of rubber, fairing or whatever the heck they call it, under the bumper. Stupid move, but I'm sure they did it for aerodynamics. Problem is, it hits everything. I could pull up in my driveway, drag the ground. You park in any parking lot, the bump stops for your tires are gonna hit it. You pull up, the curbs are gonna hit it. Hell, beer cans are gonna hit it. So what's that tell you? It tells you about 2 months you're gonna be pulling it off like I did and throwing it away. Which is exactly what I did, because it was flapping in the wind under here, slamming on everything, and looking like hell. So I tore it off. So, goodbye, little rubber thing. Now, this is something else I want to let you know about. That is the gas pedal, brake, clutch. My feet in my work boots, when I first started driving this, had an issue with getting to the gas pedal. In other words, there wasn't enough room between the brake and that little rinky-dink, crappy little gas pedal. And you can see, maybe you can see, my foot rubs up here, and I've already rubbed this off. Basically, I drive this thing with my big toe. Now, I'm not a big guy. I don't have big fat old feet. I don't have a size 14 boot or any of that crap. But if you do have a 14 boot and you're 6-something, you'll fit in this car. You can drive this car, but you're gonna look like you're in a clown car. It's tight, it's made for small guys. I'm only about 5'6", and I fit perfectly in it, but it's not a big man's car. Let's just put it that way, and since most Americans now are big, you're not gonna be real comfortable with it. And since I've been basically just bitching about the car, I'm gonna give you a couple of positive things about the car. The Bluetooth phone deal that connects, you know, when you're driving down the road, your voice goes through the radio to talk on the phone. That is fabulous. That's like the best thing since sliced bread. Doesn't matter how fast I'm going, I can hear the person I'm talking to. It's awesome. Second thing, this car has ample power for a little 4-cylinder. I mean, you're getting on the freeway, if you know how to drive, you just downshift, you put your foot in it, you rev up the RPMs, and you get where you need to go. So you know how to drive a stick, you're not going to have an issue with this car. It does have plenty of power for that respect. The other deal is, at 60 to about 80, this car just levels out on the road and just cruises. You won't even realize how fast you're going. When I hit 60 miles an hour, I'm always looking down, I'm doing 75, then I'm doing 80. I just set the cruise control because it actually gets kind of annoying because the car just locks down on that road and you're just flying, especially if you got a decent road, nice smooth blacktop. The car just, you know, it's like in a little vacuum, man. It just, woo! It's nice, it's sweet, it's great. Road noise is minimal, don't have to turn up the radio, already said that. So I'm digging on it for that reason. Just not digging on why I had to buy it, which is, you know, economic reasons because of gas prices. But when the government prints $85 billion a month out of thin air, what do you think's gonna happen to gas prices? No, it ain't Bush's fault. It's somebody's debt. They keep spending and we're not making any money. One other thing, let me talk about the air conditioning. You're gonna need massive tinting jobs on this car. Make it as dark as possible, legally, wherever the hell you live. Make it dark. I put limo tint all in the back, put legal tint up here in the front. You know, I live down here in Texas, it's 95 degrees every summer day, if not over 100. And the humidity is usually rocking at about 85. You can see how bad I'm sweating right now. You can see the extreme things I go through to bring you these awesome videos, right? So the deal is, I roll around on number 3 for the fan. If I had 3 of my fat beer drinking buddies in the back, I'd have to roll at 4, you know, because they'd be breathing all down my neck and stuff. So, but it does work okay. You know, especially since I parked my car in the shade, that makes a big difference. And get one of them sun visor deals for this massive front windshield. You know, they got to fit all that crap in, you know, in the dashboard now. You can't just have like a little small dashboard. You got to have some type of basketball field, you know, for all the cups and everything to fly around on. Okay, y'all, now I really want to show you this here. This is, I had to fold down the back seat to bring home the weed eater. And that's what's going to happen. You're not going to have enough room here in the back for the grocery cart stuff, groceries, especially if you got kid seats there. Now, I don't know how y'all shop. It may work for you, but if you fill one Walmart shopping cart you know, up with diapers and all that type of good stuff, you're not going to have room for your car seats, you know. If you shop every 2 days, yeah, maybe, but most people shop like once a week. They load up for the week and they're done. But it ain't gonna happen, you know, unless you just want to bury your kid in all your groceries and stuff. It's an issue. It's definitely an issue. I went through this back in 1990. I had 3 kids in diapers, 3 car seats, and I had a little car like this because, you know, newly married, yada yada, same issue. So it's going to be a problem. Depending on who you are and how much you drive, I've put 17,000 miles on this car in 1 year, 12 months. I also have this truck right there, which I also drive. So I do a lot of driving, y'all. This thing is getting 30 to 32 miles to the gallon. Every day, you know, I live in Houston, I live in Texas, so I'm doing a lot of on the road driving, and I'm doing a lot of city driving. Of course, I think I do better when I'm in the city because I'm not driving as fast, because when I get on the road, I'm kicking it up to 80, 85. You watch some of my Hogs Home videos, you're going to see what I'm doing, because I got to get to where I'm going. Bottom line is, the car rolls great, it runs great. 30 to 32 miles to gallon, I'll take it every day. Now, if I was one of these hyper mileage guys and really worried about it, I could probably push it up to 35, 36 miles to the gallon, you know, doing little tricks and whatever. But I ain't got time for all that. So, I do like the car. You can bring on the hate if you want. I'm just telling you what the issues are with the car that I have. The car shouldn't cost as much as it does, but there's nothing I can do about inflation. It just is what it is. But it does have enough power to get me around. It's a commuter car, though. It's not going to be a family sedan or any of that type of deal. Now, the other thing, if you really want to know something, in China, they're having an SUV boom. Yeah, over in China, they're having an SUV boom. But over here, since we're broke and since we're loaning all our debt to China, guess what? You get to drive some luxurious vehicles like this. Yeah. So keep thinking you're saving the planet. You're not. The deal is everything comes down to money. And at the end of the day, this is a free car because I can park my truck, which is what I really need to be driving, and pay for this with the gas savings. It's that fine. It's just that simple. Now the deal is, I'd rather have a half-ton diesel pickup like they sell around the world that gets, you know, 25 plus miles a gallon, has plenty of power, but they don't sell them here. They sell them everywhere else, but not here. So think about that for a while. And I've wanted that for 25 years. But, you know, due to regulations, we can't have them. So anyway, that's my beer can review of the Chevy Sonic. Yes, I would buy it again under protest, but that's it. It's a good car. It's the General Lee because of the orange. And I'm going to drive it for 10 years, put 250,000 miles on it, call up the junkyard, tell them to come pick it up, and crush it. And then I'll buy something else, and I'll be putting around on that until, you know, they put me in the ground. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. One last thing about the car. The deal is, everybody says, oh, you got an attitude, you know, all the haters especially. I buy a car to drive. I don't buy a car to keep me safe, you know. If you go buy a Vet and they go, oh yeah, it's safe, it's got airbags. Vets go 200 miles an hour. And you can't tell me guys aren't putting their foot in it to go 200 miles an hour. I buy the car to drive. And that's what I want to do, is drive a car. So that's why I buy it. Let's talk about the car. Bottom line is, all these modern cars now are just one beer can after another beer can after another beer can. They all look the same. There's no difference, except for maybe a mile per gallon. Yeah, they'll tell you I got 200 horsepower, 210, 220, 230, whatever you want to say. They're all the same. They all look the same. It's plastic in the front, plastic in the back, and 4 seats in it, and highly underpowered. If you don't believe me, go to an old car show and look around. Cars used to look different, they used to perform different, and they used to look a hell of a lot better. You know, that's why guys pay a lot of money for an old muscle car, because you're just badass. Today, you think this thing's going to be a classic? No. This thing's to get you from point A to point B. And like I said, all this is all fine and dandy. You may think, oh man, that's the coolest looking car in the world. Right. It's a commuter car. That's it. And meanwhile, Chinese are having an SUV boom. So how do you feel about that? Yeah. Just keep on dreaming, haters.